Hey everyone, welcome back to Dubious Engineering. Look who's here. It's Ravi.
Hey.
From the Retro Hour.
Yeah.
And also Retro Ravi.
Yeah.
So we're setting up because we're going to Swag tomorrow.
The big sound system that Howard's done.
The monster sound system kicker. And Ravi's DJing. So let's have a quick look around Ravi's DJ case.
So I've managed to fit 2 Amiga 1200s in here, power supplies and a mixer. And this was a case for an old VHS camera.
God, let's have a look inside.
Pretty crazy if we can get this beast opened.
So in there then, there are 2 Amiga computers, Amiga 1200s are there?
Yeah, power supplies,
2 power
screens, mixer, and then all the cute little cables.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun night tomorrow.
Yeah.
Say hi, wife. Say Happy New Year.
新年快乐，恭喜发财。
恭喜发财 is Chinese New Year.
Over to Howard and Ravi.
Thanks ever so much, Keith. Well, first of all, before we start, I just want to say what an epic event, and I think we should all give Dave a big round of applause for actually doing brilliant. So, I'm not well known in Amiga circles because I was brought up with the 6502. I'm sorry. Thankfully, I met this guy here, and he said, wouldn't it be an epic idea if we built an Amiga laptop?
I saw Pause, Silent Pause, which was an Amiga laptop years ago, and I thought, with battery power nowadays, it might be a bit easier. And Howard was doing a great thing on his YouTube channel, which was ripping batteries out of old laptops and then putting them into stuff. He had a mobility scooter. He built a giant battery bay at the bottom, had a solar panel on the top, and you went to the pub in it, didn't you? That was really cool. So we thought, how can we do an Amiga laptop? Because I wanted to keep it as kind of original as possible, and that would be not using any trackpads. I could have just put a Raspberry Pi in there and then emulated it. But we decided to get the Amiga motherboard, the 600 here, because that was a small footprint, and the CD32 I think is a bit smaller, but you'll have to like go vertically on it if you're going to do any extra add-ons. So I was thinking with an accelerator or something, you could just stick it in here. And then we've got this awful wooden case at the moment, which is just a temporary thing. We're gonna, we've got a monitor running as well, and this is 12 volt. But we want to get an LVDS one and do like a thin monitor and have that on the top. But this is basically it at the moment. It's just a recapped Amiga 600 board, compact flash on there. We've got an adapter for a keyboard, so we're going to put a keyboard in at one point, and that's the basic setup. But Howard can talk you through the power, because it was quite complex doing the power, because as you know, the Amiga's a little bit of a power-hungry beast, isn't it?
Sure is.
And we'll fire it up in a minute and actually show you it working.
Absolutely. So as Ravi says, the Amiga really does suck quite a lot of juice. So what I've got in here is an array of lithium-ion cells that have been reclaimed from used laptops. And the idea behind that was to effectively create a plus 12 volt, minus 12 volt, and a plus 5 volt supply, which are all used to drive various different auxiliaries on the motherboard. So there's supply regulators in here, and in the future there's going to be a battery management system included in here as well, so that it doesn't explode or anything like that when Ravi's trying to use it. Because lithium-ion cells do have a bit of a reputation of being slightly dubious. So the great news is it does indeed work. I've even printed. This is how much my Amiga love is starting to develop over time. I even 3D printed a little logo for it. I know it's not the right colours, but it's the right font, and that was, the thought counts. So on the back of it here, there's a missile switch. There's 2 meters there. When you flick the missile switch, the batteries then fire up the 2 meters, show the voltage across the batteries, show the power running into the various different regulators there. The board fires up, the screen fires up, and today we can play Police Quest on it.
Yeah, so I've got a workbench installation at the moment on there, but also the adapter, the power adapter with the Amiga is a custom thing. So Howard had this crazy idea of basically using a glue gun and then sticking the lines in for the different voltages. And that kind of works actually at the moment.
So just to sort of like enhance that point slightly, what I did was put pins in the Amiga connector, put a little bit of grease on the front surface of the Amiga connector, wrap some tape around it, and then basically fill it full of glue. So I didn't have to buy an Amiga connector, because they're sort of expensive, they're about £5 or £10, something like that. In fact, to be honest, I didn't think I was ever going to get one, but clearly you can. So what do you reckon, Ravi? Should we fire it up?
Yeah, let's get it going. So at the moment, how long do you reckon it will run off battery power?
So off battery power, I think at the moment it will probably run for about an hour. Now, I don't know, I can't remember quite how well charged these batteries are, and it's been up in my loft for quite a long time. They need conditioning. So the key thing about these lithium-ion cells, if you undercharge them too much, they stop functioning, they die. If you overcharge them, they stop functioning, they die. So it really needs battery management system in there. So I can't stress that enough. Safety is first and foremost, but this isn't safe at the moment, so we're just going to go ahead and...
Yeah, so Howard said to me basically, don't keep this in your house, keep it in the shed, so if it burns down, then the shed...
I keep this in my house, I have an Amiga in my house.
Alright, let's fire it up.
Oh no, hang on, should we get someone to come fire it up? Who wants to come fire it up?
Turn on the...
Who wants to hit the missile switch?
Make sure you're
launch the missile! Come and launch the missile, there he is, come on. Come on.
And the idea of this is just that we're going to have it for a laugh. I'm going to make a custom case, and then I'm going to do D-paint on the park, or draw a lake, something like that.
And hopefully you guys can see.
You'll see workbench pop up in a minute. It's just loading.
The cables aren't very long on this.
No. But there you go, and that's running off battery power.
So there's no power plugged into this. Thank you guys, thank you very much.
And we've got no additional RAM in there or anything, so we can just run something like Police Quest at the moment. But eventually we're going to make a little custom plastic case, we're going to make it a little bit smaller, and then release all the power plans online and do it open source for anyone that wants. And you can probably hear the music as well, so we've got little speakers inside this. There you go.
Very good. Excellent. Next up, it's DJ Ravi, Retro Ravi. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, Retro Ravi. By the way, I'm Howard from Dubious Engineering. Ravi and I are going to fire up this system. This is also homebrew. This piece of wood here is a piece of oak from Henry VIII's bedroom. I'm not joking with you. Mate of mine worked there as the groundskeeper, and this piece of wood came out of Henry VIII's bedroom. It was horrible. It was really dirty and dusty. But anyway, so this two amplifiers in here, one driving the bass speakers, one driving the side speakers. All runs from 12 volts. So at some point in the future, you can see me with a massive lithium-ion pack, big boombox walking down the road. But It's really good for camping and that kind of stuff, you know, if you want a little party in a field. So, right, you ready? Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about the Amigas.
So this is using PT1210, and these are some little monitors from the back of cars that basically kids would, you know, watch movies on and stuff in cars. And the main problem with the Amiga when you're DJing is stereo separation, because you'll have the drums in separate ears. But if you actually use one of these Y splitters, phono splitters, you can do stereo out of the left output on Amiga, which is quite cool. And then I have the no filter thing on there. So basically when you start the Amiga, it comes with an audio filter. I've put in the startup sequence this LED no filter, and what that basically does is cuts the filter off, but your LED will dim. So that will show that the filter's taken off. And I've had a few mod artists that have said, if you play the tune kind of with the filter on, they'll get really angry. So it's good to keep the filter off because it always sounds much better. Yeah, and I'm going to be just playing some rave tunes, so hope you guys enjoy.